Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for myself to grow as a leader, and to bring along some of these young guys or new guys that we've brought into our team. And that's an opportunity, frankly, that I'm very excited about. It's something that is going to be very challenging, but I'm very willing to do it. And having, Coach McDermott, having a second year with Joe Brady, being in my seventh season now, being here, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm going into my seventh season. I feel like, I haven't sat too many times up in front of you guys, at the start of OTA. So, but again, it's just another opportunity for me to go out there and be the guy that I'm supposed to be and the guy that I believe I am. And, I'm going to need guys along the way, but I think the most important things I need from this team is guys to just continue to work hard and buy into what we're doing here and trust the process, as Coach McDermott always preaches. And, us trusting in Beane and what he's doing and bringing the right guys in and just trying to utilize those guys as best as we can.
What it do, YouTube? Is Coffee back at it, man. And Josh Allen's presser, catching a lot of news headlines today, man. I'm wondering if people are going to spin some of the things he said into slights at Stefon Diggs, which I'm not saying I think that's what it is. But I mean, the media, that's what they do. They do their BS, spin narratives and things like that. And at the end of the day, Diggs is gone. The Bills franchise always squashed all that talk that it was just the media flocking around in some form or fashion. There definitely was something going on that led to his departure. But I think him and Josh were good personally. But I'm just thinking, man, some of the stuff he's saying about hard work, I could see them saying, oh, was Diggs not working hard enough? Is that? But I don't think Allen's that kind of guy. I don't think he's that kind of guy, especially with Steph. I think they did have a real good rapport, and he touches on it in some other clips we're going to get to. But the main theme that we heard of over and over again throughout this presser was about being a leader. Being a leader, you can't just be one of the guys. And I say, man, 7 years. I mean, like Josh has been on the scene, but I felt the same way in a way that he was saying he felt when he was saying that number 7. Like, damn, 7 years in this NFL, man. Is this 8th year going to be the charm? It definitely could be. I know Josh is going to get a ring. Everyone share your take, your thoughts. Could that have played a part into it in a whole nother way about letting Steph go, letting a lot of the vets go, shedding a lot of the veterans, man, who got to have vets, right? A solidified veteran in sports, especially in the NFL, is like wise beyond their years in many, many ways. But I almost wonder in a way with Josh coming into, this next season and, he's been around a grip. I almost wonder if that was logic in a way that maybe letting some of the vets go and going with a younger roster or whatever. Obviously, there's an upside. There always becomes a point where with certain players you say, okay, this guy's a great player, but is he worth the money anymore? Or is it to the point where whoever's on next up on the depth chart is the better option, right? And, analytics and everything else teams do. But I'm just wondering, in a sense, with dropping some of the vets, is it, make Josh pick up the slack more as being the solidified leader on the team, period? It's an intriguing question to me. Comment if y'all feel what I'm saying that, and if you feel that could have been somewhat strategically what the Bills did and are doing.
What was it like playing golf with Tiger? Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was. They say don't meet your heroes unless your hero's Tiger Woods. It was pretty cool. We got to obviously play golf, and I felt like I played okay. And I feel like I've played in a couple of these tournaments where there's a lot of people around, and you're shaking, putting the ball down. There wasn't too many people out there, but I mean, my hand was shaking, and I've got so much admiration and respect for him and what he's been able to do over the course of his career, and the tenacity and the mentality that he had. And there were some, good conversations that we had about that on the course, and some things that I'll cherish forever. And got to have my brother on the bag, so it was a pretty surreal moment for us. What was it like playing golf with Tiger?
Hey, for those who saw Josh golf, I'm just curious: is his golf game good, or is he buns? Is he trash, or is he a decent golfer? I remember they did that thing a couple years ago. Who else was in it? Was Mahomes and Brady, and I can't remember. There was a few other quarterbacks, but that's got to be pretty damn cool. And it's interesting to hear him say, they say never meet your idols or heroes, he said. I don't necessarily like the word idol, right? But never meet them. They'll let you down, however the saying goes, unless that's Tiger. And man, what a career Tiger Woods has had. He doesn't even, like, there's been stages of Tiger, and it's so great that he was able to bounce back after, I guess we could say, somewhat falling off with all the personal stuff and legal stuff and everything. And man, with two greats to come together like that, I wonder if some of that, like Josh picked up some of those leaderistic type qualities from his interactions with Tiger or whatever. Let me know what y'all think.
You're not getting paid just to be the quarterback. You're getting paid to be the best leader that you can be. The best quarterback obviously comes with that. So leadership looks like a lot of different things. You wear many hats in this building, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing, especially when I feel like I'm one of the guys, and sometimes I have to remind myself that you're looked at a little bit differently. Guys are relying on you a little bit more, and understanding that, and but trusting coaching staff, trusting your teammates around you, and having that type of humility where it's like you're able to say when and where you're wrong. And I think that's what we've learned over the last few years, not just with him, but with other receivers and with other players as well. It's everybody's got a different type of relationships. Everybody has something different that makes them tick.
All right, so again, we hear about being a leader, as I was stating earlier on in the video. That just really seemed to be the overall theme of what Josh was conveying in this presser. And I had it wrong also. He's going in, earlier in the video, he's going into his 7th year, not his 8th. This is his 7th. So will the 7th season be the charm? And I mean, again, with this guy's talent, people love to hate on him, but it's possible. Wherever Josh Allen is, he is a special QB and amazing talent. But getting back to that leadership role that he's trying to step into more, I don't know, like, am I reading into things? What does everyone think? Does the Diggs leaving have something to do with that? Was their relationship or something like that? Some of the stuff that was going on, did the franchise see it that was taken away from Josh's focus or something like that? Or were they just like, hey, we've seen what we can see. We've seen everything Diggs can do to help this team, and it wasn't enough to continue carrying on with this contract. Let's let these younger receivers step in or what? Like, everyone, I really, really want to know, as always. That's what this channel is all about. If you've never been here before, is hearing from the people on the different topics we speak on. But Josh Allen definitely has matured a lot as a player. Obviously, we don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes. And in the NFL, I feel like almost more than any other league, they really keep a lid on things, if you ask me. But if you really look at it, man, Beane, Big Baller Beane and Coach McDermott, year after year, have put out, like, as far as free agency moves and the draft and stuff like that, like, they've done well every year, and the result of what they put out there, of how talented this team is on both sides of the ball, has been impressive. Like, we've had a good squad year in and year out, and it just goes all back to the trust the process.
It's definitely hard to part ways with a guy that's been very instrumental in our success here over the last 4 years. And again, I can't thank him enough for when he came in and how hard he worked and what he taught me along the years. And obviously, I wish we can keep everybody. We've made a lot of changes this offseason, lost a lot of veteran leadership, Steph being one of them. I guess that's the nature of the business. And going into year 7 now, it's just kind of is what it is. I don't get paid to make changes on the team. I get paid to be the best quarterback that I can be and try to lead the guys on this team.
Have you spoke with Steph since the move was made?
Yeah, I shared a text with him and got one back, and just thanking him for everything that he did for me, and always have a spot in my heart for him. And I always love that guy like a brother, and wish him nothing but the best. My lasting memory of Steph will be the receiver that helped me become the quarterback that I am today. And I'll always thank him for that.
Man, everyone just only texts nowadays, man. I mean, it's kind of wild to think that after all that they did out there, the Allen and Diggs show, right? Hey, a text. That's the only exchange they've had since Diggs has parted ways and is in Houston. Again, I've said in other videos and stuff like that, I always felt like a lot of the drama we were hearing about with Diggs was the media hyping things up. Team, Josh, everyone always tried to assure us everything was good, But I have always felt like since this all went down, that Diggs fell out with the franchise, not with his teammates. Let me know if you agree with that or not. How about that? His one memory, if he had his one takeaway from his time with Stefon Diggs as his teammate was him helping him to be the quarterback that he is today. Real talk, I mean, would he come in Josh's second season? Or was it his third? I can't recall. But, man, he really, really, everyone remembers how it went down. Was it his first season, I think? He was the receiving yardage leader, whatever, the top receiver in the league. They were, I think, breaking records possibly. I don't know. They were amazing together. And as a Bills fan, it's definitely a bright, period in Buffalo Bills history. But I guess we saw all we could see. Everyone always points out to how things went in the playoffs. People always say Diggs disappeared in the playoffs, but I don't know. That's all behind us. Everyone share your thoughts, take opinion, subscribe. Lots more NFL content coming. And we're going to leave you with something Beane had to say about the draft.
I know you talked about Josh and his interest, but he doesn't know everything about these young players. But he does know Steph. When you said you talked to him before the trade, I was just curious, that's almost like a philosophical change. He's been their number one receiver. What was his reaction when he knew that this was the possibility? And because it is a major change to a guy he's known that had a lot of success.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that between me and Josh. I get the question, but I think that's best for our conversation to keep that in. Josh understands that sometimes I'm calling him, take Steph out with decisions, whether it's calling him the year we signed Mitch when he didn't really know Mitch and, hey, probably won't be able to bring Matt Barkley back. Things like that. People he's formed a relationship with. Obviously has a relationship with Steph. Josh is really mature and understands that sometimes I'm calling him about things to say, how do you see it? Sometimes I'm calling him just to say, hey, this is where we're at. I don't want you to be blindsided, things like that. I'm not really going to weigh into where the conversation with Steph. I just think it needs to be kept between me and Josh, just out of respect.